paper of Punjab Public Service Commission for Veterinary Officer Health Research, basic pay scale 17 under Livestock and Dairy Development Department. The advertisement number was 23K 2020. Apply advertisement date was 23/12/2020. Last date to apply was 7/1/2021. Total seats were 19 and applicants were 2417. The paper was planned and held at 21/7/2021, and the other paper was also of the same post, livestock veterinary officer at livestock production officer, instructor training and coordination under livestock and dairy development department. Advertisement number was 24K 2020. Last day to apply was 7/1/2021. Total seats were 3, applicants were 1012, and paper was planned and held at 31/7/2021. Both papers were at same day of same post. Nitrogen content of urea is 46%. Johnny disease is not zoonotic. Zoonotic diseases are the diseases that are transmitted from animals to humans. The diseases that are transmitted from humans to animals, human to human, or animal to animal are not zoonotic. Zoonotic are only diseases that are transmitted from animal to humans. Snake mode of respiration is lungs. Options were skin, epithelium, and gills. Essential amino acids in milk are 9. Milk has all the 20 amino acids. So if they ask the total amino acids, then it will be 20. If they ask essential amino acids, then it will be the 9. Osmoregulation in fish is by gills, and kidney is also the part of that, but most of the opinion is that they are the gills. Abnormal behavior does not depend on environment. If the animal has abnormal behavior and the behavior is independent of environment, then what will be called? It will be called as frenzy, tremors, or lassitude. Lassitude will not be the option, as lassitude means lack of energy. Tremor means, I think tremors are limited to muscles, and the possible option may be frenzy, but not sure about the answer of that question. Social behavior example, there are many examples and we have to select the social behavior, and I think the option was grooming. A monkey was grooming another monkey, so that will be the possible answer for social behavior. Research is always explorative, descriptive, or explanatory. I think all was also the option, so I think all was right, as they all are the types of the research. There is also explorative research, there is descriptive research, there is explanatory research. Study of farm at individual level is farm economic or farm management, not sure, but it was the question with these possible answers. Study of mammal is called mammalogy, which is always purgative. Castor oil or Mcqs? I think castor oil, or there was another option that was herb or anything else. Castor oil or that herb might be the possible answers. Mcqs is not the answer, as Mcqs high doses are harmful to the animal. Crystalline solid is sodium chloride. Secretory diarrhea is by enterotoxigenic E. coli, enterohemorrhagic E. coli, Salmonella Dublin. I do not know the exact answer, but according to me, enterotoxigenic E. coli may be the possible answer, but not sure. Death of diarrhea is due to dehydration. Possible the options were dehydration, loss of minerals, etc. Required for RNA to complement DNA. Reverse transcriptase is required for RNA to complement DNA change. One no ball. If there is a no ball to a batsman, then how much score will be to the team? The team will have 1 score for no ball, irrespective of the point or fact that how many scores the batsman has obtained from that ball, and these extra 4 or 6 will be the additional scores, but 1 run is obvious due to the no ball. Diaphragmatic hernia is common in dogs. Dogs are more prone to diaphragmatic hernia. Inhibitor of vitamin K, options were decomarine, heparin, or all. But as we had studied the details, vitamin K1 or phytonadione reverses the anticoagulation from vitamin K antagonists such as warfarin and long-acting anticoagulant rodenticides, including bromadiolone, bromadiolone, and diphenone. But according to these results, I am not sure what will be the possible option, all, decomarine, or heparin. But the question was that inhibitor of vitamin K is, and they were the possible options. There were two numericals. One numerical was related that we have to tell the age of the younger brother, and this younger brother was some years older, or age was related with another brother. So this numerical was simple. We had studied commonly at class 9 or 10. Other question was from FSC mathematics, intermediate mathematics. It was a difficult P related question was that. And ordered Jinnat to construct the building. I do not know, it was Baitul Muqaddas or any other building, but we have to tell the name of the prophet. The prophet was only the Hazrat Salman alayhi salam, who had ordered the Jinnat to construct the building, possibly the Baitul Muqaddas. Who purchased well for Muslims for water? It was the Hazrat Usman radiyallahu anhu, the third caliph of Islam. BCG is used in BCG is a bacterial strain or vaccine that is used against tuberculosis. Progesterone is protein, amino acid, or peptide? None, as it is a steroid. Fowl cholera vaccine was developed by Pasteur. Comma-shaped bacteria is Vibrio. Pakistan internet users are none, as the right option is 90. It was not in the question. Non-healing wound is contaminated wound or maggot wound? Do not know. Non-healing wound is contaminated wound or maggot wound. There was also another option. I am not sure that which is the non-healing wound. When East Punjab in India discontinued the flow of canal waters to West Punjab just 1 year after independence. Independence is in 1947. In 1948, East Punjab in India discontinued the flow of canal waters to West Punjab. Who did strike in India in 1946? I think the option was 1946. In 1946 or near about that, Royal Indian Navy has striked in India. Plasma cells are differentiated by lymphocytes. Biochemical profile of ketosis is ketonuria. Human pH is slightly acidic. It is 4 to 6. COD, cystic ovarian disease related question was that. Mummification is mostly in bovine. Reason for mummification is hormone. SOAP stand for subjective objective assessment planning. SOAP subjective objective assessment planning. Cystic ovarian disease COD has nymphomania and stress. They are the signs. Anaplasmosis drug of choice is oxytetracycline. African horse sickness is by culicide. Os cordis is in bovines. Disease throughout the world is called as pandemic disease. Example as COVID-19 in 2019 and 2006 to 5 to 7 there was H5N1 avian influenza outbreak, that was also the pandemic. Atelectasis is complete or partial collapse of lungs. Poultry air sacs are 9. Amino acids in milk are, if there are essential, then they are all 9 are present. If only amino acid is asked, then all 20 amino acids are there in the milk. Country having nuclear icebreaker is Russia. Baku is the capital of Azerbaijan. USB or universal serial bus is secondary storage. It is also commonly known as flash. Leukemia virus affects, do not know. There were many options as the lymphoid tissue or the lymph vessels, blood vessels. It mainly affects the blood cells. but not sure it affects the lymphoid tissue or the blood epithelium or not, endothelium or not. Methylene is antidote of cyanide or carbon monoxide. Strychnine antidote. Strychnine has no antidote. Functional ovary in poultry is left. Largest vein of mammal is caudal vena cava. Balochistan is 42% of the area of Pakistan. Interferon is active in antiviral diseases. Basophilic cytoplasmic inclusion bodies are present in which disease? There are many options as measles, pox. Do not know the answer. Milk freezing point is checked by cryoscope. Thermistor cryoscope is I think the type. Which one is the best method of milking? The best method of milking is dry hand milking. Worst method of milk letdown is by oxytocin. By oxytocin, the milk letdown is the worst method of milk letdown. Goat gestation period is 5 months 5 days. Multiply that with 30, we will have the days. Thiamine replaced by RNA in uracil. Thiamine is replaced by dash in RNA was question. It will be the uracil. Extracellular genetic material. Sahiwal, bull or buffalo, chromosome number is 60. Sahiwal bull and buffalo both have the chromosome number of 60. Question was about the Sahiwal bull. The number of chromosome in Sahiwal bull are dash, it will be the 60. 60. Not sure about the number of chromosome in buffalo. I think the number of chromosome in buffalo are 50. Sperm is normal. Sperm in normal semen is 40 to 30,000 unit 10,100,000 unit 10,100,000 3,000 million. 40 to 3,000 million are the sperm concentration of normal semen. मुहावरा was there, moon में दांत ना पेट में आंत, or related that there was मुहावरा. BICA, basic exchange and cooperation agreement. The abbreviation of BICA is basic exchange and cooperation agreement. Nuclear icebreaker is in Russia, February 1946. In India by Royal Indian Navy. Father of radiography was Röntgen. Red water is caused by Babesia. Tapeworm is more in intestine. Largest cecum is in horse. Extra nuclear genetic material is plasmid. Blood in blood agar is 5 to 10%. Ultra high treatment of milk requires 138 to 150 degrees centigrade. Kamilul Hayai wal Iman is the name of Hazrat Usman Raziyallahu anhu. Burn is classified as 1, 2, 3, 4. Do not know that its answer. Big Ben is in London. Dog mange is there are names. Point mutation is change in some nucleotide sequence. How many amino acids are in milk? Essential amino acids are all 9. Study of reptile is herpetology. Petechial hemorrhages are seen in Newcastle disease. LDA or RDA, there was one option, I do not know what was that, and is caused by genetics, nutrition, etc. Drug remain laxative. There was also question that LD or RDA is most commonly observed just after parturition, during gestation, and 1 to 3 months after parturition, or none of these. We have to select any one option. Drug remain laxative at higher doses is repeated question. Zoonosis is transfer of disease from animal to human. Function of furnace is to estimate the dry matter percentage. Jaldal apparatus is used for protein estimation. Improper lungs infiltration is atelectasis. Antigen presenting cells are both the macrophages and dendritic cells. Poultry secrete protein S. Do not know. Progesterone is not amino acid, not peptide, it is steroid. Fish osmoregulator is gills. Amino acid in milk are 9 or 9 essential amino acid. Different sulfonamides interact each other as additive synergistic. Do not know the answer. One is I think synergistic but not sure. One is benefited and other is not benefited, is known as not know. Neeli Ravi is breed of Punjab. X-ray uses silver halide. X-ray not visible to eye is not know. Mammal study is mammalogy. Pyometra is mostly observed after puberty. Stands with stereogenic. puberty starts with the option stereogenic, and it was a long statement, do not know, but the term within that sentence was stereogenic. World Milk Day is celebrated on June 1st. Every year June 1st the world celebrates World Milk Day. Horse ferment fibers in which part of their body? Hindgut. Horses or equines are the hindgut fermenters. Disease that occur on global level is called as pandemic. People that work together in a place with same occupation is called as workplace community. Secretory diarrhea is caused by, do not know, these were the options. The study of mammals is called mammalogy. Corpus luteum of pregnancy is corpus luteum vernum. Toxic level of sodium chloride in poultry is 1.5%. Osmoregulation in fishes by gills. Respiration in reptiles occur through lungs. Mummification is most common in bovines. Diaphragmatic hernia is most common in none, as it is common in dogs, or dogs are not in the option. Os cordis is present in cattle. Cystic ovary causes all of these as nymphomania and stress. BCG vaccine is against tuberculosis. Which of snake do not carry rabies? Rabies is the disease of mammals. Snake is reptile. Cephalothorax and abdomen is present in, I am not sure if ticks is right or wrong. I think the last option was all, and the possible option may be the all, but not sure. Options were these were the options. D option may be possibly all. Drug of choice in anaplasmosis is oxytetracycline. Drug of choice in theileriosis is parvacon. Fowl cholera vaccine was first developed by Louis Pasteur. Pericarditis, perihepatitis, and yellow colored layer on internal organs are present on which disease? None. It is in the E. coli. E. coli has these signs. Light required for layer bulbs is 16 hours, 14 to 16 hours. A relationship between organism in which one of them get benefit from the other is called as commensalism. Commensalism is the relationship in which one organism is benefited and other may or may not. Social behavior, other is not benefited. Social behavior out of these is monkey grooming, and other is the social behavior. More than one species of fish in culture, if they are present, and then it is called as polyculture. Phylum is combination of classes. ECG stands for electrocardiogram. SOAP is subjective objective. It is repeated, I had mentioned earlier. Auscultation in which organs? Auscultation is in heart, lungs, blood, etc. Human pH in green fed animals is 6.5 above, slightly acidic. Animal welfare is all of these. X-ray that cannot be seen is a latent image. X-ray image that cannot be seen is a latent image. Dissociated anesthesia is ketamine. Detomidine is the alpha-2 agonist. Sulfonamide plus trimethoprim has synergistic effects. Red blood cell percentage used for hemagglutination test is 1%. Silver halide is converted into none of these. Complement DNA converts by reverse transcriptase into RNA. Optimum temperature for RNA is converted to cDNA, or I'm not sure which will be the sequence, but it uses reverse transcriptase. Optimum temperature for broiler is not sure, 68. I think it was the 75 to 95 degrees centigrade, but it has, there is 68 to 85. I do not know the optimum temperature for broiler, but there was the question for what is the optimum temperature for broiler. Broiler space requirement is 1 square feet. Lactation length for cow is standard lactation length for cow is 305 days. Crystalline solid is sodium chloride. Unit of length is angstrom. It is used to measure the length of DNA and small molecules. Atolactosis is partial or complete collapse of lungs. Common disease in young calves except diarrhea and septicemia. Calves except diarrhea and septicemia is pneumonia. In secretions which immunoglobulin is present, immunoglobulin A is present in all the natural secretions and excretions, especially secretions. Optimizing economics and resources of individual farm level is called as farm management. Not sure farm management or farm economics, but the question was optimizing economics and resources of individual farm level is called as systolic blood pressure is 125 millimeter of mercury. Death in sweet clover poisoning is due to hemorrhage it is not sure that it is hemorrhage or another thing, but the term was that which vitamin is not needed in poultry do not require vitamin K. Lysine is the limiting amino acid of poultry. Neeli Ravi is of Punjab. Remember that the Ravi is the river that is in Lahore, that is around near Lahore, so the Neeli Ravi should also be from the Lahore or the Punjab. Functional unit of life is cell. Cause of death in diarrhea is dehydration and not the mineral loss. There is also the deficiency of mineral. This was also the option: minerals, dehydration, etc. So the cause of death in diarrhea is dehydration. It is also not sure. Vitamin K is inhibited by decoumarin. Alternative form of gene is none of these. DNA is identified by location of centromere. Spermatids are diploid. Enzyme in bovine sperm head is acrosine. Leukemia virus affects lymph vessels or vascular endothelium, or none. These were the options. It is not sure that lymph vessels are correct or not. Thick and misshapen eggs are calcareous or calcareous. Deposits on shell is on infectious bronchitis disease. Infectious bronchitis has misshapen eggs. Protein requirement in broiler starter ration is 1925. I am doubtful about this because the range covers the protein requirement of all stages for broiler diet, so I think none should be the answer, or it will also be the answer because the protein requirement in broiler starter ration is between the 19 to 25%. Fluid in lymphatics is called as lymph. Brucella vaccine is given at the age of 4 to 1 year, so 6 months will be the right option. She started work. It was the at, and I do not know what was the sentence. Sikh in parliament. Gurdeep Singh is the senator, so it will be linked with parliament. Pakistan internet ranking is none of these. That Pakistan internet ranking is 90th and the option was 60, 70, 80. So 90 was the option, was not the option, so none of these will be the option. बैतुल मुक़द्दस को बनाने का हुक्म जिन्नात को किस पैगंबर ने दिया? हज़रत सलमान अलैहिस्सलाम। अलामत को क्या कहते हैं? दिस अलामत, इसको उर्दू में क्या कहते हैं? और आई डो नॉट नो व्हाट वाज द आंसर. नोवेल किसने लिखा? चांद से जाकर. डो नॉट नो हु हैज़ रिटन चांद से जाकर नोवेल. कुआं किसने ख़रीदा मुसलमानों के लिए? हज़रत उस्मान रज़ी अल्लाह अन्हु. Common shaped bacteria is vibrio, not part of accessory digestive system is the adrenal gland. Zebra stripping in intestine of colon is not sure, maybe the PPR. Ketosis is characterized by ketonuria. Puberty in female occurs. Able to do gametogenesis option. Do not know that what was the option. What were the option? What was the right option? But the question was puberty in female occurs when. Progesterone is which type of hormone? None, as it is steroid. Options were of proteins. Split leg posture is due to none of these. No or never pamphlet was written by Chaudhry Rahmat Ali. Antigen presenting cells out of these are both of these as macrophages and dendritic cells. No one ball. It is a repeated question. Baku is the capital of Azerbaijan. Trypanosoma spreads by Culicard species. Ductless glands are pituitary, thyroid gland, adrenal gland. All of these are the ductless glands. Which acid is present in best quality silage? Lactic acid. Research is all of these are the options of research. And these are the questions by some doctors. Disease which spread globally is endemic. Secretory diarrhea is caused by don't know mammal studies. Mammalogy. Nature of progesterone is none of these, as progesterone is steroid. Corpus luteum present in pregnancies. Corpus luteum vernum. Sodium chloride toxic to poultry is 1.5%. 2.5% is I think wrong. It will be 1.5%. Osmoregulation in fish is by gills and kidney. Gills mostly. Mummification is most common in swine, not sure. Respiration in reptiles is through lungs. Diaphragmatic hernia is common in dog. Oscordis is in, it is not in dog. Oscordis is in bull. Oscordis is in bull. Diaphragmatic hernia is common in dog. Cystic ovary is caused. Cystic ovary causes nymphomania or all. Not sure. I am not sure about that. BCG is against TB. Resistance against rabies is snakes, as snake is a reptile. and the susceptible or sensitive to rabies are the mammals. Cephalothorax, warm-blooded animals. Cephalothorax abdomen is present in repeated question. Drug in anaplasmosis is oxytetracycline. Drug of thalaria is buparvacone. Fowl cholera vaccine is made by Pasteur. Peritonitis, airseculitis, pericarditis, perihepatitis, yellow organ or layer around organ in poultry is by enterotoxemia or is by E. coli. Colibacillosis was not the option. Light required for layers is 16 hours. Relationship one in which one is benefited and other is not benefited is commensalism. Culture medium used for bacteria is don't know. Social behavior is monkey grooming the other monkey. There are many examples for these. Culture media require in culture in which there are more than one species of fish is the polyculture. Phylum is combination of classes. ECG is electrocardiogram. SOP is subjective objective assessment plan. Auscultation is of lungs, heart and trachea. Human pH in green pasture is 6.5 to 7, slightly acidic. Freedom for animal, none of these. There are options that which one is not the basic right of an animal, so none of these may be the option, not sure for that. Which X-ray image has not seen by naked eye? Latent image cannot be seen by a naked eye. Dissociative anesthesia is ketamine and midotomidine is the alpha-2 agonist. Sulfonamide plus trimethoprim combination is has synergistic effects. Blood for blood red blood cells for hemagglutination requires 1% concentration of blood. Salivary halide convert, none of these. Silver halide convert, don't know. Complement DNA to RNA require reverse transcriptase. Optimum temperature for broiler is 75 to 90 degrees centigrade. Broiler chick space requirement is 1 square feet. Latent length in dairy cattle is 280 days. Lactation length in dairy animal is 305 days. 305 days was the option. 280 days is the wrong option. Crystalline solid is sodium chloride. Unit of length is meter. Unit of length is angstrom. Angstrom was the right option. Meter is this one, the written here is not right. Unit of length angstrom is also the ANGSTROM is the unit of length. For minute lengths, as if we have to measure the length of DNA or internucleotide length, then the A is used, and the A was the option in question. Crystalline solid sodium chloride unit of length is angstrom. Atelectasis is expansion of lungs. Diarrhea and most common disease in calves is pneumonia. Antibody in normal secretion is immunoglobulin A. Individual working together at a place is workplace community. Ideal systolic pressure is 120 milligram of mercury. Neeli Ravi buffalo breed is of Punjab. Pyometra is common in immediate after parturition. Pyometra common stage in cattle is do not know. Evertal unit of life is cells. Unit of diarrhea due to death. Dehydration causes dehydration by in diarrhea causes death of animal. Vitamin K inhibitor is do not know the right option. Condition net influenced by external environment, don't know. DNA identification is by centromere position. Different forms of genes are alleles or none of these. Acrosomal part of semen consists of enzyme. Acrosomal part of the head of the sperm has the acrosome. Leukemia virus infects lymph tissues. Brucella vaccine at the age of 6 months. Batman Noble gave 1 run. Baku is the capital of Azerbaijan. West Punjab water removed. West Punjab and East Punjab water conflict was in 1948. First serous skin membrane was first senator Sikh member was Gurdeep Singh. Pakistan, none of above. Do not know this. What was the question? Kuwa was by Hazrat Usman Raziallahu Anhu. Baitul Muqaddas बनवाया हज़रत सलमान अलैहिस्सलाम. Zebra strips in ileocecal junction is in PPR, split of leg is in Merrick's disease, Commachia bacteria is Vibrio, light period for poultry is for layer is 16 hours, CP for broiler starter is 19 to 25%, D geo remains by law, which acid is best for silage quantity, lactic acid is present in the best quality silage, lymphatic fluid is called lymph ductlet, all were the ductless glands, antigen presenting cells were all as the macrophage and dendritic cells, misshapen eggs are in infectious bronchitis. In poultry, which vitamin is not required? Vitamin K is not required. Death due to sweet clover poisoning causes hemorrhages. Limits lysine is the most limiting amino acid in poultry. Why research is important? All of these options were right. Two brothers, numerical, it was the numerical P related question was also there. Puberty in female, there were definitions of puberty in female. For genetic engineering, E. coli was the option. No and never was written by Chaudhry Rahmat Ali. If she worked hard, she would pass. This was the English question. Not accessory digestive organ is the adrenal gland. 4 bits are the nibble, bite. These were the option, and here the option is nibble. I am not sure that what is the technical term for bit for 4 bits in computer. Fiber degeneration in horse, and fiber degeneration is in horse. Gene form alleles. She cannot hear. There must be. Embryo cells used. Stem cells. Farm management. African horse sickness is by tsetse fly. Tsetse fly was not option. The option was, I think, the culicide. So culicide will be the possible option. In previous video there was a question in which I had said mistakenly that the amount of nitrogen in fertilizer is 42%, and it was the wrong answer. The actual amount of nitrogen or the concentration of nitrogen in fertilizer, spellings are also wrong. Fertilizer, fertilizer is 46%. 46% urea, nitrogen is present in urea. 42% is the wrong answer. 42% is not the concentration of nitrogen in urea, it is the 46%. And one MCQ that was little bit technical. Type of microbial association in which food chain or the metabolic products of one are utilized by other. So the question it is asking that there is a food chain or food linked any product, and this food linked product will have any microbe, any bacteria or microbe that will utilize the product or anything of that food, and what will be the association of that bacteria and the food in which this bacteria is present, this bacteria or enzymes are present. So number 1 is metabolism. So metabolism will not be the option, because metabolism is a chemical reaction in body cells that change food into energy. Metabolism do not require any microbial association. There is metabolism, but metabolism do not require microbial. It is not necessary that metabolism will have any microbial association. Other option is symbiosis. Symbiosis means living together, means two different forms of life living together. Living together is any type of close and long-term biological interaction between two different biological organisms. It is not necessary that there will be two biological organisms, but there should be the food and there should be a microbe. Our question has two main points. There should be a food and there should be microbe. According to option A, there is metabolism, there is a food, there may be a food, metabolism may be in food, but in metabolism microbial association is not necessary, is not required. In another option, option B, there is necessary to have two different biological organisms, so symbiosis is also not the option. So in fermentation or food fermentation, especially the food fermentation in food processing is the process converting carbohydrate, alcohol, or it is called as the food using microbes. So it is using 2 points, carbohydrates to alcohol. Carbohydrates or alcohol is food, and using microorganisms, and there is food and there is microbes. Both options, though both conditions are being satisfied, and these 2 conditions were required in the question. Type of microbial association, there should be the microbes and there should be the microbial products. Metabolism do not have, metabolism have the, in option A, metabolism have the metabolic products, but metabolism do not have microbial association. In symbiosis there are 2 organisms. First condition is satisfied, that there may be the microbe or the animal or different organisms, but the metabolism is not necessary in symbiosis. Or if the metabolism is there, then there should have 2 organisms in option 2, but this requirement is not in our question that there should be 2 organisms. Our question requirement is that there should be 2 points, that there is the microbe and there is the food. So it is being satisfied in third option, as it is the fermentation in food processing. So third option will be correct. Fermentation in food processing is the process of converting carbohydrate to alcohol or organic acids, or simply it is the process of converting or utilizing food, converting food using bacteria or microbes, yeast or bacteria under anaerobic conditions. Anaerobic condition was not in our option, it is not necessary. The 2 conditions were there should be the food and there should be the microbe. Fermentation usually implies the action of microorganisms is desired. The science of fermentation is known as zymology or zymurgy. So there is also the photo of that in grapes, and the common example of fermentation is the formation of alcohol from grapes, and there is also an old Egyptian photo in which the grapes being trodden to extract the juice and made into wine into storage jars, and the photo is from tomb of Nakht, 18th dynasty, Thebes, ancient Egypt. So the right option is the fermentation.